Now it's time to invite a personality who has been working a lot. The theme which we have chosen for taking technology to the last mile, whether it is an urban aspect or a rural aspect. She has been working for RBI for taking banking services to the last mile, as she was heading rural banking division of RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Currently, she is looking after the currency distribution in India, and we requested her to address us on how now she is using technology in this aspect of banking, currency distribution, how RBI is looking after leveraging technology for currency distribution. And apart from her busy schedule, she spared time for us. And we are fortunate enough to invite Dr. Dipalipan Joshi, Executive Director, Reserve Bank of India, for this keynote address on leveraging technology for currency distribution. A round of applause for Dr. Dipali, please. Ma'am, we invite you on stage.
Thanks, Karthik. Actually, I was rather hoping to walk around like Mr. Singh. Hearing two cops in the room, I'll tell you what gives me sleepless nights. But before I go into that, you've all been saying, and Mr. Singh very eloquently described, how you leave an electronic footprint even if you ask a tarot card, will he, won't he? So the tarot is, so anybody can Google, build your profile, and do things like that. And therefore, the compound annual growth rate of notes continues to grow. Do you know why? There's no way you can trace a transaction. If you buy arms, if you buy hash, if you buy cocaine, if you buy real estate, it's all currency notes. And we are the third largest consumer of currency notes. In fact, the second largest. The highest is China. And you will be surprised at the third, it's Japan. Do you know why? Because the Japanese are extremely finicky about cleanliness. So they want clean notes all the time. And now, before I go into my formal keynote address, and maybe I may not bombard you with the figures I prepared, these two cops have made me think of what I should be talking to you about. Do you know what gives us sleepless nights? The counterfeit notes. And if you have a good, you see, electronically, you can simulate any note, you can simulate any security feature. Today I was sitting back, and when you look at your notes, now that's something which you all carry in your purse. All of you have a note. But you know there are two kinds of security features. I think I will walk around for a bit. Are called the covert features. And those we choose to share only with Mr. Singh and with Brajesh. We don't share them with everyone. Those are the covert features, because when we print that note, we call it a cylindrical watermark banknote paper. And a feature is built into it which will pop out if you see it under a special machine. So to make it simple for you, there are features which you can see. What are the features which you can see? Any answers here quickly? In your note, you can pull out a note and check. You see Gandhi Baba. What else do you see? You see the RBI strip. And what else do you see? You see the number. Right? So that's a feature which you see. But there's a feature which you can feel also. What's that? That's slightly raised. Who said intaglio printing? No prizes. Okay, because that's your line of trade. Okay, so yes, there is intaglio printing. And what else? When you tilt the note, what do you see in that little, who mentioned the RBI thread? You mentioned. So it changes color. It changes color from blue to green. Now what happens is, so these are, this for convenience I will call, you see a note, you feel a note, and you tilt a note. Now, if you have a good computer, today I was saying that what happens is that when it's a cottage industry, if you're sitting in Kurnool and reproducing a note, you won't go very far. But what happens is that everything begins and ends with the Malda Express. That means if your friendly neighborhood country is doing state-sponsored printing, then the problem arises. Because you can simulate just about anything. Today I decided to see on my computer what does the Pakistan note look like. And what is the thread? We have a blue to green thread. So I said very possibly it's going to be green. It's going to be a green shift. So can we have a supplier who will give me something other than a green shift? So they said no, because it will take a very long time to design something other than that. So I said, all right, let me see. And from the computer, on the internet, I could find out, I could very secretly, I could just go into the central bank, go into the currency division, and I could find out the tilt of the note and what it looks like. How did I do that? I did that because I wanted to see what are the customer awareness and education methods which the State Bank of Pakistan, which is the equivalent of the Reserve Bank of India, how does it educate the public? What does it educate the public on? Which features of the note does it choose to talk about? And hey presto, I discovered that yes, they also have one which changes to green. Now you will wonder why we have had Gandhiji for all these many, many years. Why this, are we all Gandhians? Do we have great faith, homage in the father of the nation? Why don't we change Gandhiji? Of course, they also have Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Most people have their leaders of state. Because what does a note show to you? It also shows you your tradition, your roots, your country. What does it stand for? Whom do you respect in your country? The other reason, and the reason which the policemen will confirm here, the senior police officials of the government of Maharashtra, it is very, very difficult to replicate the face of Gandhiji. Especially all the wrinkles on his face, and even the most experienced counterfeiter, shall I say, he makes Gandhiji look like a Muslim. Because he gives them either a narrower chin, or he gives them a little beard. There is some confusion which is created over there. Nor can, what we talk about is, we say there's like crackling rosy. The paper should crackle, because it's made of rag. The paper doesn't crackle. Sometimes they reproduce the crackle, but they don't get all the features right. So what we need really in the note, in a good strong note, because understand, here we are all talking to Dr. Rajan that cut rates, do not cut rates. Somebody can completely swamp your economy if they push forged notes in. Why? Because M3 expands? No, not just because M3 expands, but because once faith in the integrity of your currency is lost, faith in the ability of these gentlemen who are sitting here to defend us also goes. Because cyber security, I mean, as you were talking, it's the most dangerous thing. I'm telling you, just as an academic exercise, sitting down, I decided to see what are the features which the public in Pakistan is being educated about in their counterfeit notes, and decided what are the features which we cannot share with the public. What have we done recently? Recently, if you have got any of these new notes, you will find what we call an exploding font. Exploding font, nothing to be worried about, Brijesh, it doesn't really explode in your face. It's just that there are 3 numerals which go up in ascending order, and the remaining will come down in descending order. Why? More difficult to counterfeit. What else have we done? We've introduced certain lines, and these lines, when I took over, and Karthik is right, I spent a very long time in development. That continues to be my first love. But Karthik, what you do not know is that when I began my career, it was with currency. And now I have the opportunity to design for you a brand new note, which is going to come shortly with lovely security features, strong security features which cannot be replicated. And what we look for in a note, you see, as I was telling you, supposing I have a thread which goes from, say, magenta to blue. Will I look for a very sharp contrast in the security thread? Yes and no. Because first I will see what is easy to replicate, because counterfeiting, I give 60 marks to counterfeiting and 10, 10, 10 to everything else. So counterfeiting is something in the note which is a primary and principal concern which obsesses the NIA, obsesses the RBI, obsesses all of us, because every time when Brijesh comes to know there's a heist, he calls upon us, please tell us, is this a true note or is this a forged note? Because sometimes those notes are frighteningly good copies, except, as I said, they falter strangely enough on Gandhiji. Then what we do is we say we should have we should have a number of features. Abroad they have things called holograms, which is a see-through register. There's a see-through register in the RBI note also. But I was telling you what I did. Now what happens if you are visually challenged? I say I'm vertically challenged. So if you're visually challenged, that is if you're blind. Vertically challenged is just short. And I say it doesn't matter because it's all about stature. It's never about height. You agree or disagree? Correct, right, good. Strong agree. So anyway, so what we've done is we've introduced certain vertical lines. So those vertical lines we call the bleed lines. So a person who, you see, a blind person, or a person with not very strong sight generally differentiates one note from another on the size of the note. But when we have created, we used to have these small marks, round mark, diamond, they were not very large, they were not very good. People were getting confused, our poorer people were getting confused. So now we have bleed lines and we have different sets of lines for 500 and 1000 rupee notes. Now why is it, we also found that in the 10 and 20 rupee note, the forging is not so high. Can you tell me why? Can anybody tell me why? Huh? Sorry? Because of the value, because you get much less value. So if you're pushing into the market, the 500 and the 1000 are the notes which you are going to love to counterfeit because of the return on interest, return on value. And how do you do it? You push it note by note. So the other day I was just 2 days back, I was taking a flight to Bhopal, sorry, and the Fab India man looked at the note I gave him, did this, and I said, अच्छा, इसको कैसे देखते हो भाई? He said, भाई 2 दिन पहले मैडम एक आदमी आया, मुझे 1000 का ऐसे ही forged note दे गया. तुम एक machine क्यों नहीं रखते हो? So what we have told the banks is that you must have note sorting and counting machines. Because those note sorting and counting machines will automatically detect for you and throw out the counterfeits. You have what we call the desktop sorting machines. And the revolution in technology has been very high. And that has helped us, and we are leveraging that to improve our... You see, we have a country which is not a country, we are in a subcontinent. Now, consider how in this subcontinent we have to have penetrative outreach, because every single person is entitled to what? Clean currency. So we follow a clean note policy. I remember many, many years ago when I joined the RBI and came with my father, the RBI had promised us a reimbursal of fare, and I was most excited about it, not realizing that we were staying in the Hotel Ambassador and the bill which my father was paying was quite much, much larger than the amount from Allahabad, coming all the way from Allahabad to Bombay. It was like coming to New York. But when we got those clean, crisp notes, I remember the pride with which he put them in his wallet. So when I was asked which department I would like to work in, I said I would like to work in currency. So every single person in the country, people should not, as in Gujarat, I am told they were stapling notes together at one point and using those notes. So everybody should be entitled to clean notes. Now if everybody is entitled to clean notes, what happens to the dirty notes? Any clues? What do we do with them? We crusade against Maya. What do we do? Huh? Recycle them. How do you recycle filthy notes? Don't even touch them. You use Dettol, disinfectant when you touch them. What do you do with them? You destroy them. So how do you destroy them? Earlier you used to incinerate them. And when you incinerated them, you simply burnt them. You know, you had a funeral of notes every day. But then bits and pieces of those notes used to get left behind. And clever people used to fix those two pieces together, come back to your counters and exchange them. So you didn't want that to happen either. So now you have machines. And those machines are called currency verification processing systems. So you feed your notes into those machines, and there are machines which take your notes, which take your soil notes, and then they make briquettes out of those notes. Briquettes are small pieces of notes. Now the danger is that the briquettes are piling up, and we actually we pay people to take those briquettes away. Now what we are looking at is whether we can use those briquettes for the soil note briquettes, whether we can use them for energy. So essentially, our basic problems, our basic challenge is one, counterfeiting. How do we counter counterfeiting? So for that, we have to be one step ahead of the counterfeiter. And in each of the features which we mentioned, seeing it, feeling it, touching it, and having education campaigns for the public, telling people a lot but not doing the full Monty. Because if you do, then just as I could tell you what was the change in the note thread of the neighboring country, they may also come to know, and they may not use it for educational purposes. They may use it for quite commercial purposes. They may use it to completely ruin your economy, which you would obviously like or not like. Not like. Not like at all. Reprehensible in the extreme. So this is one thing. This is one challenge. The second challenge is reaching currency everywhere. Now the Reserve Bank is only in the state capitals. So what do? How do you reach it to people? You reach it through a penetrative outreach through the currency chests of the banks. Now how do you ensure that at all banks, you see, if from one bank, supposing, let's say Bank X, you go to Bank X, you get a 500 rupee note. You go to the market, and it's a forged note. What happens? Your faith in Bank X is shaken. Your faith in the integrity of the banking system is shaken. So we insist that you must have these machines, these desktop sorters, and we ourselves use the currency verification and processing systems to ensure the integrity of the currency which is pumped into the country. Now, abroad what happens is, now we've also set up our own paper mill. We have these two paper mills. We've got this Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudran Private Limited, and I'm a director on the board of that company, which makes your notes for you. But what is the problem? What are the things in the note? I mean, I didn't know this myself, so I don't expect you to know. But there is ink. And there are two types of ink on your note. One is called optically variable ink. The one I said you tilt and see, and you can pull out your note and check right now. And one is the simple ink. Now, when you do an intaglio process, and intaglio is just gadha khod ke usme you put ink, you fill ink. So that is a process by which you can feel the raised portion, because there is a raised portion. But what happens in intaglio is huge quantity of ink is wasted. Humongous quantity. And what survives, of course, helps you a lot in identification. The other thing is that you have a dry offset printing. But if you have a dry offset printing where you just take your note, color your note with beautiful colors like your 11-year-old daughter, Brajesh, she would make a nice picture. So you can make that picture. But what happens? Any guy who runs a color Xerox shop finds it very easy to take your 20s and your 50s and just roll them, feed sheet after sheet and take it out. So that's a real danger which we have to address. Then we import many of our components, including the paper, because as I said, we are also hungry for paper because it leaves no trail. There's nothing which can tie you to a transaction in cold, hard cash. And we, as a country, like most countries of South Asia, love cash. We love cash transactions, we use cash all the time, and therefore it is very expensive and it is dangerous. Because you see, there are only 5-6 people who make the ink abroad. So what we are now trying to do, and what the Prime Minister has asked us to do, you see, we hosted the Prime Minister when we completed 80 years of the Reserve Bank. And he came, he spoke very well as he always does. And then he looked at us and he said, मुझे बहुत दुख है कि महात्मा गांधी की जो आप फोटो छापते हैं अपने नोट पे, उसका कागज आप विदेश से लाते हैं. We had no answer because that was true. He said, मैं ये चाहूँगा, and he said it with a smile, कि जो नोट आप बनाए वो पूरा हिंदुस्तान में बना हो. So that was it for us. I mean, because that was the make in India, that was the indigenization of note, and that was a difficult process, but we have indeed initiated it. Then the second thing is, what do you do for the life of the note? As I told you, it was delightful. My father was so happy कि देखो भाई कितने साफ नोट मिलते हैं इस बैंक में. how do you elongate the life of the note? Because there's a cost to printing a note. Even the 1 rupee note which has just come in costs you 1 rupee and 86 paisa to print. So what do? You need to bring down the cost. And if you can't bring down the cost completely, you need to extend the life of the note. So there are various things which people do. They varnish the notes, they keep the notes. Now, in countries abroad, see, we have hell of a lot of guys around. Like even Karthik will come out, then he'll have 2 flunkies waiting to pick me up. He'll have 2 other flunkies waiting. Then 3 other flunkies will come and say, "Saab, wo phone aa gaya, wo bas jaldi hain." So then he'll be, abroad you don't have all these people. So when we have all these people, we harness all these people, we put them in the currency verification processing systems because we have unions, we have agreements with the unions. Now the currency verification processing system takes your note, the pile goes up, goes down, goes up. It's all electronically programmed, you don't have to do anything. So if you go to the West, now what happens here is a truck comes in. And with all the fanfare, we find out where is the remittance is coming. Abroad, no such excitement is there. There is a drone which goes up, which picks the bundle, which puts it on a treadmill, which puts it off the treadmill. Here, we have agreements with our unions that we'll pay you 40 rupees for each box which you open. So wo baksa aata hai, then he personally comes and informs me कि madam 400 baksa आया State Bank Patiala का, वो हमने देखा. So this is a different world. It will take us a while to move to a position where we have drones who pull out those boxes, who stack them manually in the vaults. Right now, there are guys who come and, tikka mazdoors, they stack those. And people used to tell me, why do you get the most salutes? My batchmates used to tell me, why do you get the most salutes? And I used to tell them, because 3/4 of the bank is engaged in cash operations. You see, 3/4 of the personnel which you have, I mean, his job is just to salam you and to tell you that he's, 10 boxes have been stacked today, or Mr. X has not done his job, or Munnu Singh is not passing the note at the counter properly, or demanding some money to pass a kata-phata note, and stuff like that. So abroad what they do is, especially the Singapore Monetary Authority, which I'm most impressed with, there is no manual human intervention. Because when there is human intervention, when my guy goes in the morning to the currency verification system, he's body searched, and then he has to put in something, and his clothes are put in a small locker. He's made to wear an overall. None of this indignity is there. There is no man. There is one machine, there is an air-conditioned room, and there's one guy sitting there on a computer, and he is processing how many boxes came in today, how many boxes went to HDFC, how many went to State Bank of Patiala, what was the indent. And how else do we use technology? So we haven't reached that stage yet, but we will. How do we use technology? Can you guess how we use technology? Come on, Bitcoin and all doesn't work. I told you compound annual growth of notes keeps growing. How do we use technology and why do we use it? We have to use it. And we do. We estimate the requirement of banknotes. So how do we estimate the requirement of how will we print banknotes? We have to estimate how many notes will be used. And to what is that linked? That is linked especially to the work of the Reserve Bank of India. And what is the work of the Reserve Bank of India? The sovereign function in any country is the issuance of note and the maintenance of integrity of that note. And that is Section 22 of the Reserve Bank of India Act, which tells us that we simply have to ensure banknotes in circulation. But what we need to do is to estimate the demand for banknotes. So for there we see by how much is the gross domestic product going to grow. Because only if there is economic activity, notes will be required. And on that basis, we estimate that this is going to be the life of the banknotes. And we say, all right, there is M-Narega. In Maharashtra, Mr. Fadnavis is doing a great job. Incomes are rising. If rural incomes rise, rural consumption pattern rises, what rises for me? What rises for me? The requirement. So therefore, we have to ensure that adequate quantum of gold is there. And what happens is we say the only revolution in India has been, the biggest one, has been the ATM machine. Because it has done away with the bank teller, but not really. Because if the ATM is only going to spew out 500 and 1,000 rupee notes, we've got a problem. we need lower denomination notes as well. And the more inflation rises, now we say we don't need 10s anymore. We need 20s more. So we have to keep estimating what exactly will be the demand for notes, and as also the poor cousin of banknotes. And what's the poor cousin of banknotes? The coins. So we say, we link the banks to the toll plazas. And I thought you were coming here, so I'll just wind up. So in sum, we have a clean note policy by which we say that yes, we have to have clean notes, we have to battle counterfeit notes, because that is the biggest war, and there we work closely with the police and the central intelligence agencies who also give us tip-offs, and we in turn tell them that these are the pockets where we feel that these are the weak points where the notes may be pushed in, because notes are always pushed in one at a time. So what do we need to do? What we need to do is to build a profile of the counterfeiter. At one point, we said it's all very good. We are getting all these bulk notes for processal. So there will be a back office function, because people are afraid to come, and the bank manager or the teller who's actually receiving your note, he doesn't want to give you a receipt for it. He doesn't want to have anything to do with you. He abuses you and tells you to get lost, and he says that you'll be behind bars. So we said, okay, fine. We'll have bulk, we'll tell Big Bazaar, all right. Or where do you shop, young lady? Where do you shop? Shopper's Stop. So we'll tell Shopper's Stop that, okay, you bring your note, and we will process them in bulk at the back. But that didn't work. So we had to go back on our earlier instructions, and now we say that whether you want a receipt or not, we are surely going to ensure that you get one. Now you will ask me, how will you build a profile? I will build a profile quite simply. If Mr. Brajesh Singh comes in every day, or once in a month, or once in 3 months, or Brajesh Singh comes in with Karthik, and Karthik is changing the note, Brajesh is just standing there, and he's assuring him कि तुमको कुछ नहीं होगा, तुम मेरे संग चलोगे, मेरी जान पहचान है, नोट बदल दो मेरे, 1 लाख के नोट लेके चलो, उसमें हम 5 पीस जो हैं वो डाल देते हैं 500 के, कोई नहीं पकड़ पाएगा, पर पकड़ पाएगा, because we've got now electronic surveillance also everywhere. That is why our guys who are handling cash also are very, very much aware. But we are very much behind the curve where the advanced nations are concerned. The 3 things which we have to do, and Karthik, you can relax, I'm just winding up. The 3 things we have to ensure is, 1, that we look at indigenization of notes, because there's nothing more authentic than Make in India. What I own. My own security features you will not be able to replicate. The second, so we must, at a pinch, make our own ink. We must have our own paper, and we've set up a new mill at at Mysore. We are setting up a new mill. And the second thing which we have to ensure, of course, is that we are 2 steps ahead of the counterfeiter, that we correctly estimate the demand of our notes, and gradually we also move to a process where everything is electronic and human intervention is minimal in the supply and distribution of notes and coins. But most importantly, what we have to remember is that because for everything else there is a security trail. For every hit on the PC, you can make a profile of the person. Therefore, cash will always be king, and you will still need notes. You will still have to worry about your soil notes, how you're going to destroy them. And as long as your economy is there, pulsing, growing at 8%, as long as you hope to be in the forefront of nations, you will have to have good, strong, authentic currency with very strong security features. I'm sure you'll all back me on that, right? Okay, so Karthik, within your time. Thank you. I didn't bombard you with figures after all. Thanks.
Ma'am, I'll request you to please be on stage for a minute, please. Ma'am, it was rather one of the most interesting addresses of the day. And we all are charged up now after a hectic day with a lot of... So I might... there might be some questions. If there are, madam. Can you please pass on the mic to the madam? Yeah. Please introduce yourself before asking the question.
Hello, madam. I'm Shubhada Jahagirdar from Allied Digital, right here on your right side, first table. No, you didn't see me. Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, okay, fair enough. I just have a simple question. Why are we not getting out of the paper notes?
Yes, Shubhda, good question. Why are we not getting out of the paper notes? You might know, I've been sitting all day, so let me walk around and I can see Shubhda also because otherwise the lights blind you. Good strategy, you can't see who's speaking. Huh? See, there are plastic notes which have been tried out in some countries. We had the ambition of doing a pilot. I haven't really given up on that. We'll do a pilot with the plastic notes, but there are two problems with the plastic note. What happens, I'm not talking about the sophisticated elite of South Mumbai sitting in this room. What happens to a poor person? What does he, she, if it's a woman, what will she do with the note? Where will she knot it? In her pallu. Where will you put it? In your pocket. How many times will it change hands? Millions of times through the day. You remember in school you used to write those essays, Life of a Banknote? So therefore when the banknote, a plastic banknote creases, then it's over. That's one. But it does have a longer life. Per contra, it has a longer life. Then the second concern with the plastic note, of course, your dry offset printers are always a worry, counterfeiting. The third concern with the plastic note now, which the West is raising, and you can say that they're a bunch of paranoid guys, they are. But other than that, they say smegma from your hand, disease, high, H1N1, so various things are there. But for us, the problem is that there are only, you see, it's a very secret world, banknote printing. And there are only 2-3 guys who have what is called polypropylene. So what we want is 2 layers, like you have an ice cream. You have an ice cream in between and you have 2 wafers. So we want 2 layers of polypropylene, 1 of cellulose. 2 layers of cellulose, 1 of polypropylene. So that is the pilot which we are going to try. But what happens to these guys who are these note producers, the Ministry of Home Affairs has to give them security clearance. Because we have to ensure that there is what is called an exclusivity agreement. You are going to work only for India. You are not supplying this cellulose to Pakistan. Now you can say Pakistan, why this bogey about Pakistan? Okay, forget it. Forget Pakistan. Maybe you're supplying to Malaysia, maybe you're supplying to Saudi, and it can be accessed by someone who's not so fond of us. Because these are, as he says, cyber terror. I mean, there are hundreds of ways in which this can be. Your security and integrity of your currency can be compromised. But I still haven't given up. Australia, Korea, they have tried plastic notes. The latest is the UK. So we will have a pilot and see how it goes. But the concerns are these only because we use them so badly, and we generally tie up your note and keep it. There was a question there. Yes? Yes,
ma'am. I'm Ravindra from ICC Bank.
Yeah.
We have a clear idea of black money fraud. But does the RBI have any idea of the black money within the bank? Do you have any means to...
Does ICICI file any returns on that? I don't think so. So, buddy, your guess is as good as mine. There's a lot of it. Okay. No, it's very difficult. You see, just as you might ask me, do I have any idea of the number of counterfeit notes in circulation? No, I don't. Every time Mr. Singh has a heist, I come to know. I don't know before that. Okay, yeah. So Shubhda has been generous with the mic. Thanks, yeah.
Hi, ma'am. Meher from Uber. Ma'am, just wanted to ask you, is it in the government's interest to encourage the use of plastic money, not being plastic notes, but cards and online transactions?
Oh, of course, certainly. Meher, because we would certainly, because I told you, Meher, that there is, and I can't resist telling you the figures now. It's so expensive. I'll still control myself, thrown my papers there. It's so expensive to print a note. So the more we definitely want to use, and especially where you have these online toll plazas and all, we keep going and we keep meeting people from the Delhi Metro and saying, why don't you issue cards, because it's so much simpler for people. And eventually that is going to happen. Although, because you see, there are 2 kinds of people in the world. There's a huge amount of rural people who we have to educate them a lot. We have to do a lot of financial literacy and education for them to be able to use the smart cards. So there is a sort of digital divide also happening, which we don't want. And definitely we want to encourage. You see, every country as it progresses reduces the quantum of notes, and in the developed world, fewer notes are used. And that is why I told you Japan as an outlier was a surprise, but that's because they're so finicky about cleanliness and, you know, respect. So the clean notes are respect. Okay, thank you all very much. And before I close, I just want to tell you, because we are discussing, you know, software and things. So I'm from Allahabad, so I know Hindi also pretty good. I'm pretty good at it. So I write my own speeches, because my Hindi department writes Lohapat Gamini type speeches for me, which is an acronym for a train. So once I wrote a speech and I wanted to say thank you for a very patient hearing. And you know what the software threw up? Marizi sunwai ke liye dhanyavad.
Thank you, ma'am. A round of applause for Dr. Dipali Panjoshi, please. I'll request our program chair, Mr. V.K. Gautam, Principal Secretary IT, to kindly present a memento to Ma'am Dipali Panjoshi. मैम आपके वक्तव्य से ये तो साबित हो गया कि पैसा जो है वाकई में बोलता है, जोर शोर से बोलता है. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Dr. Dipali Panjoshi, Executive Director, Reserve Bank of India.